This is Tim Bryce with my column titled, A Huge Civics Lesson. These are historical times, and if you're not paying attention, you're going to miss something. Of course, I'm talking about the 2020 presidential election and the ensuing investigation for fraudulent voting. This will be discussed by historians for the next several decades and perhaps beyond. This easily overshadows the 1960 election between Kennedy and Nixon, as well as the 2000 election between Bush and Gore. All of this was preceded by the Summer of Hate, which was much more intense than the 1960s. The only beneficial byproduct of 2020 is that it is forcing Americans to finally learn civics. This is why I consider 2020 a huge civics lesson for America, something they should have understood all along, but took our electoral process for granted. People are only now starting to figure out the genius of the Electoral College, such as how it is used to represent all the people, not just those living in the major urban areas. People are also starting to comprehend the need for checks and balances between the three branches of government and the role of the 12th Amendment should no candidate get more than the minimum 270 electoral votes. And they are most definitely learning of the dangers resulting from voter fraud. I recently talked with three naturalized citizens about their impressions of the helter-skelter of the 2020 elections. One was from the Ukraine, one from Albania, and another from Greece. I found their take on the subject interesting. All three left their countries to realize the American dream and had gone through the process of becoming American citizens. They were excited to naturalize as they perceived America as the source of opportunity, liberty, and fair play. However, the 2020 elections caused them to change their perspectives. The Ukrainians said the elections made those in her native land look good. And you have to remember, hers was a country notorious for corruption, but is now cleaning up its act. The Albanian said he was not allowed to vote in his own country as everything was prearranged in advance by the regime, not by the people. To be able to vote in a fair and transparent process appealed to him greatly. Because of the hubbub over the 2020 election, though, he is losing confidence in America's ability to conduct an election. He also has a problem with the news media, who he believes is twisting and turning the truth to suit political needs. Like many Americans, he no longer trusts the press. The Greek claimed the elections in his native country are worse than the American version, but not by much. He considers the Greek elections corrupt and believes the Americans are going down the same path, causing him to lose confidence in the country. All three understand the basic principles of American government, something they learned from their naturalization process, but all are disappointed in the madness of the 2020 election. From their perspective, America's reputation is being tarnished by the election, the two warring political parties, and the news media. They have trouble understanding why the greatest country on earth is acting like a bunch of boobs. To them, it's embarrassing. It should also be embarrassing to all Americans, but it isn't. This is an ideological clash so severe one cannot figure how we will survive without some form of bloodshed. Like I said, this is something for the historians to figure out years from now. In the meantime, learn your civics. Friends, keep the faith. This is Tim Bryce in Palm Harbor, Florida. Follow me on the internet at timbryce.com.